2-pound boneless every year because some friends have a Christmas party and it's gotten to the point where Fred will not let me in the door if I don't have the ham biscuits. So Sparky will be joining us in a moment.
Biscuits made of ham.
Yes.
And a roll.
Sorry?
And a roll.
Yeah.
Biscuit with it, roll. Not British biscuit, but American biscuit.
Right. So, but they're made of ham.
No.
Made with ham. It's. I don't know if you've ever had the Southern style salt cured ham. It's a dry curing process with a lot of salt. And so it's not like a ham. It's not like a honey ham or a sweet ham. It's a very salty thing. If you have a heart condition, you don't want this. Oh, I see Hirschman's on.
Is he?
Or maybe. Well, there we go. 3 in. Oh, David Ault.
Hello.
Yes.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
The three
Hello,
wise
hello.
men.
Don't know about that.
So
I guess this is a good time to open the script, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
We've got a script.
Have you got a script?
Apparently.
Tell me everybody's got a script.
I've got a script.
What's the script?
Which show are we doing again?
What? Sorry?
So which show are we doing again? Is this the bots?
No.
I know.
This is Sherlock Holmes.
What did you say?
I'll go check on
is this the what?
The bots, robots of the company.
No.
Right. I don't understand what the question. What does he mean? Baffled. David, hello. You're in London, aren't you?
God, no.
Oh.
I'm in North Yorkshire.
North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Whereabouts?
Ripon.
Ripon. Okay. Yeah, I've been up there. Nice.
Yeah. It is nice. Yeah.
That's a lovely part of the world.
I know. Yeah. Because whereabouts are you?
I'm in Bristol, down south.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah.
Right.
Any snow up in Ripon?
Yeah, we had a nice load of snow yesterday. It's all gone now because we've had some rain and a nice warm wind. But yeah, we had some snow. It was quite festive.
It's lovely to have snow over the Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
We've had too much snow over here.
Yes,
Oh, well,
me too.
send some
Me
of it
too.
over. We'll dispose of it.
You can have it all.
So, David, I am still quite disappointed that I didn't get a chance to hook up with you when you came to Maine a few years ago.
Oh, right, yes.
When you visited with Tom Beale, because I was just a few miles away over on Mount Desert Island.
Ah, we actually came along to Mount Desert Island.
Yeah, but you just went to Acadia and Bar Harbor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were making all of this fuss about popovers, and it's like, there's popovers.
Oh
And
yeah,
like,
oh
okay,
yeah.
no.
Gotta have them.
It's a Yorkshire pudding. It's a Yorkshire pudding. That's all. You have them with roast beef.
It's a Yorkshire pudding with butter instead of drippings.
Yeah, but who wants butter instead of dripping? I mean, come on, it's dripping.
Oh, but those things are still amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
So, yeah.
actually, I saw Eric Busby this last summer, and he mentioned that you gave him a shout out when you were in Portland.
Yes, I did, because yeah,
It
he
gave
was
him
there.
such a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Aw. Well, to be fair, he probably is the person that sort of really got me going on audio drama. So
Yeah.
it was.
And you didn't bring No Sleep to New England, did you?
No, with the furthest we got up was Boston.
Ah.
And
Well,
that's the furthest. It's the furthest we'll be getting in March as well.
Mm.
So if you fancy coming along down for it,
I'll have to make sure I know about it.
yeah, well, the nosleeppodcast.com/tour.
Nice.
And we'll be in audio horror narration, a full cast, full production, and there is at least an hour of free content out every week. So
Wow.
we're on our 10th season now, and we're doing our second live tour across the United States, February, March 2018.
Yeah. When are you going to be in Chicago, David?
Okay, I'm going to have to go to because we're going to the space in Evanston.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
It's
a
yes,
very great.
it's a lovely,
It's
really
a beautiful
lovely place.
space.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, I actually know some people who live in Evanston.
So that is. Please hold. Thank you for holding. Your call is important to us. You are currently number 5 in a queue. 11th of March. There we go.
11th of March. Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Okay. And Boston, Wayne, is the 15th of March.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. Sparky has something to say.
Ballroom.
Hello.
Hello.
Who is that?
Hello.
That's the Sparky.
Oh, right. Are you sharing the same Skype setup?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I've got my mic stand here, so it's on the couch between us. And you may hear the occasional
Sparky.
cat.
racially insensitive as a result, yes, that was probably the one.
Some people have no sense of humor.
That's right. And it was my mother. And that's me, in a nutshell. In this nutshell, get me out.
That leaves Nora.
Hi, I'm Nora Gutierrez-Perez. I am from Corpus Christi, Texas, right on the coast. And yeah, it is pretty warm here, I guess, compared to the rest of you. I'm freezing. I have just done voice work, gosh, maybe just for the last couple of years with Pete Lutz down here in Corpus Christi. He has Pulpery Theater.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
With that. Thanks. It's just for fun, I guess. I've done a lot of community theater as well, and some film work, small films here in this area. And my day job, I'm a preschool teacher. So I have to act a lot, I guess, in the classroom. So that's about it. That's where I am right now.
And telling all the kids not to act out.
I need to go to the potty. Yeah, shit like that. Oh, when I say shit, sorry.
Don't worry.
Yum.
Don't worry, at some point during this, someone's going to get murdered. So keep watching to find out. No, they're not. Sorry. I'm not going to promise a murder live on air.
Lisanne, draw the shades.
Right, so I'm Vince Staden. Do you know the Marvel films about superheroes, like the Avengers? I'm like one of them, except I don't have any superpowers or charisma. So if I was one of them, I'd just be called Vince. So it'd be like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, and Vince as the next team up. And I wrote this script about 10 years ago, I think. You can buy it in the book, but I've revamped it a bit for this special MOSH live reunion this Christmas, because we did a bit of Sherlock Holmes. Well, it's been a year of it, hasn't it? So we thought we'd end the year with a bit more. This script was our first Christmas special, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yes, it was.
And
Indeed.
Sorry?
Yes, it was indeed.
And the idea was that Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes would swap roles, pretend to be each other, so the actors would have a bit of fun. And it was based on something I was reading about, one of the worst winters ever in the United Kingdom, where there were so many deaths because basically the land froze over. But I got the year wrong. I think I've set this in 1889 when it should be 1895, I think. So sloppy research on my behalf from 10 years ago. Sorry, any Sherlock Holmes expert?
Well, I was enjoying this live stream, but unfortunately they set it in 1889 and not 1895. I want all of my money back. I'm not going to listen to anything else of this.
Part of this nonsense. If you're not going to be historically accurate, well, why do comedy at all?
It's an outrage.
As long as you're paying me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Right, so we'll just go through the cast, and then I will read all the stage directions. Now, it's just a casual read through, so don't worry about anything. We'll probably go over a few scenes. We'll do it once, we'll have a break, we'll come back and we'll do it a second time, and then we'll probably never meet again, ever. Like this.
I don't know about that.
And one of us might not be alive.
Sorry, Vince, you don't get rid of us that easy.
So, Jeff Niles. Jeff Niles?
Yes.
You're playing Mr. Sherlock Holmes, Jeff?
Yes, last that I heard.
When was the first time you played
Yes, I am.
First time you played that must have been 12 years ago or something. Good lord.
Yeah, something like that. Yes. The what was it? The taxing problem.
Yes, we did a sketch. And Elie Hirschman, hello. You there?
Hello.
Hello. You're playing Dr. Watson.
Yes. Again?
Yes, I know.
Again,
Do you remember when
best
you...
Dr. Watson ever.
Did you... Are you going to play any other roles? I can't remember if I said you were.
Don't I? Yes, there was one that I was going to do Watson's brother of some sort.
Right, yes, because there are 6 Dr. Watsons in this story. 7, if you count Holmes.
Yeah, I only played 2, I believe.
Yeah. Although one day we'll do the 10 Watsons when there'll be 10 of you.
Oh boy.
Wayne, can you play
Hello.
Inspector Gregson?
Yes. And I am
He's-
still Brother Watson, right?
And the other Watson, yeah. Whoever he is.
Brother. He's just brother. He has no name, poor man.
Yeah. He might be a monk. Let's give him a name. Ian. How about that?
Alright, sure.
Ians are funny, aren't they? That's just a funny name. Who else have we got? Mrs. Hudson. Can you play Mrs. Hudson?
Certainly.
Mrs. Hudson. Excellent. Thank you. And also, can you play Jemima for this time round, and then Charlotte the second time round? How's that?
Okay.
Right, Jemima Winterton. Can you, Nora? Would you mind? No, you'll be Charlotte, won't you?
Yes.
Charlotte Jones. So if you're Charlotte Jones
You
and
always told me to do
Mother Winterton, and then next time round be Jemima.
Can you define next time round? What are we referring to?
We're gonna do it twice,
2 beats.
2 reads.
Oh,
It's about half an hour, then break another half an hour. Be over.
That's just trying to keep up.
I have a quick question.
so many rules.
So, Charlotte Jones and Mother Winterton, those are 2 different characters, but I'm doing both of them.
Yeah. You don't mind doing that?
Okay.
That's fine. And then on the second time round, if you can be Jemima and not Charlotte.
Okay.
It's just a read through. Don't worry. We're not gonna, you know.
Don't forget that you have Lisanne doing Mother Jones.
Isn't that a
Mother.
newspaper or something? Mother
Yeah.
Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Might well be. David Ault. Hello.
So,
Hello.
Can you be Atkinson and Stackhouse and who else was it?
Delivery guy or something.
Yes, the delivery guy.
Yeah, the delivery guy's got the best line in it, hasn't he? That is a
It's really a matter of
No
opinion.
spoilers, please. I haven't actually read this script, so it's all
Alright.
new to me.
Eh?
I've got a technical issue again. Sorry. I've got a monitor that's about to die on me. How do I fix that? Sorry. Auto sleep. Press any key to cancel. Okay. Nothing. It's like a timer's counting down.
Who's that wearing a green striped sweater?
That's me. That's me.
hey.
No.
All I see is the corner of his head. Oh, there he is.
I'm not going to leave the video on because it slows down my connection, but I figured I would just pop in to say hello.
Hello!
Let's also show off my official Watson mustache.
Alright, I'm just going to phone my...
Do you always wear that while you're doing Watson?
I have to. I mean, it gets in the way of the microphone sometimes, but it's not authentic without the mustache.
That reminds me, I must go find the deerstalker that Vince gave me when I saw him in England.
Doesn't work otherwise.
Hello?
Should I turn my video off as well? Is it creating any kind of lag? I don't know.
I mean, I do a Skype call every day with work folks back in America, and I know that having the video running does tend to slow things
I
down.
can't
But
see it.
if you're not experiencing any issues, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Underneath.
Yours actually looks okay. It's just a little fuzzy.
I always look okay.
You
Right.
always look wonderful.
Okay, it's
Elie.
just gone blue. Oh,
I would.
there you go.
I'd peg me at
I got
okay,
it. Thank
decent
you.
even.
We should all strive for decent, shouldn't we?
Adequate, perhaps. Are we all going to do a group vocal warm-up of some sort? Just, you know,
Right.
no,
Sorry about that.
no.
Um,
Red Dalek, yellow Dalek. Red Dalek, yellow Dalek.
Luke Luck licks lake. Luke's duck licks lake.
What to do to die today is a minute or two to two. A thing distinctly hard to say and a harder thing to do.
He thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts. Okay, I'm good.
I don't have any sophisticated theater training, so I don't know any of those silly things.
okay.
I don't
Right,
have any
so
unsophisticated theater training either.
what happened then was the monitor died, so I phoned my son who was at the gym, and he said there's a button on the bottom, but be careful. I didn't hear what he said, and I pressed the button and the monitor fell on top of me, broke the cup I was drinking from.
Comedy.
It's got that
That
right.
is comedy right there.
Alright,
How is old Tom doing anyway?
he's fine, he's fine. I have never had anybody die live during a show yet, so... See?
Yet.
100% mortality rate.
Always hope. The night is young.
Let us read this thing then. Let us read this script. I will read the stage directions.
Right.
Scene 1. There you are. That was it. That's all I need to read for that bit, because then it's Watson. Let's start again. Let's do that again. Let's I'll put some emotion into it. Scene
Let's say the title.
1. Oh yeah.
Title as
All right.
well.
Okay.
That should be the beginning.
All right. The misadventure of the 5 Watsons-ish Redux, because it was called the 5 Watsons. We put an ish and a Redux on it. So the 5 Watsons-ish Christmas special 2017. Scene 1.
The madness of the case of the 5 Watsons began one freezing cold winter's day in 1889. After a few days away in the Lancashire countryside, where Mr. Sherlock Holmes had solved the baffling case of the inebriated monkey, and I had merely been inebriated, we had returned to Baker Street in good spirits. Literally so, in my instance, for I was still pleasantly sozzled after imbibing a bottle of malt whiskey on the train journey back to London. Holmes, however, was in the sharpest of wits, and within seconds of alighting the cab outside 221B, the detective cried out that something was amiss.
Aha!
What's the matter, Holmes? Hurry yourself inside, man. I'm freezing my moustache off out here.
The matter, my subtle friend, is that something is very obviously missing.
What? The dog? The cat?
The door.
Oh, that was my next guess.
Look, here. Sawdust, and here on the step. 2 sets of footprints, size 12 heavy boots. I think, and here are drops of liquid. Ooh, disgusting. Only one concoction on earth has that revolting and pungent smell. Mrs. Hudson's tea. And I'm certain you have immediately realized the importance of Mrs. Hudson's new wide-brimmed hat.
What? Oh, Mrs. Hudson's hat? What on earth does that have to do with our missing door? I say, Holmes, you don't think Professor Moriarty has stolen the door as part of some fiendish plot against us?
No.
Oh.
The sequence of events is obvious, is it not?
It's not obvious to me, Holmes. And I venture to suggest that you are indecently hasty with your rather rude dismissal of my Professor Moriarty theory. The villain might well be collecting doors, or setting a deadly trap, or simply making mischief in an attempt to distract us.
Oh, no. He is doing none of those things, because the professor has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Are you certain?
Yes.
How certain? As a percentage?
Observe the new furniture and wallpaper in the hallway, Watson. Note the fresh paint on the window frames.
I'm not hearing a number.
The events laid out make perfect sense. Mrs. Hudson purchased a fashionable pink wide-brimmed hat and was very clearly taken with the color. She arranged for decorators to hang new pink wallpaper in the hallway, new pink furniture to be delivered, and for the door to be taken away to be painted.
What? Nonsense, Holmes. Your powers of deduction have eluded you in this instance, I'm sorry to say. Nobody removes a door to be painted. It's clearly the mad professor at work.
Mind out the way, chaps. Got a delivery here of a freshly painted door.
I rest my case.
Right, excellent. So there's obviously a joke missed there, isn't there? Where Holmes says, and for the door to be taken away to be painted, beat pink. Or Watson to say, all right, what colour? And then, I don't know, I missed a joke there somewhere. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense, because Watson's still sozzled and can't come to the conclusion of the pink part.
Yeah. And for the door to be taken away to be painted. Painted? Why? What colour? I don't know. Anyway, scene 2, interior Baker Street, Christmas Eve, the wrong year. Let's move it back 4 years to 1895.
6 years.
And that's ahead, not back.
Forward. Yeah.
What?
Forward 6 years,
Yes.
not back 4 years.
Different year.
Forward.
Yorkshire time, yeah.
Very, very confused, but I press on. A few days later, as Mrs. Hudson rushed about the house with a paintbrush, and England continued to be crushed under a great and endless icy freeze, I found myself in the unusual position of impersonating my friend Sherlock Holmes. For reasons I shall soon make clear, dressed in an Inverness cape and deerstalker cap, intelligently admiring a meerschaum pipe, I stood by the fireplace, gazing handsomely and intellectually into the hearty blaze, until the thick smoke began to make my eyes water, and a desperate client rapped urgently at the pink door to our shared rooms.
Knock on door.
You must have got every door.
Sorry.
What?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, that was me. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, just got a delivery of an interruption here. Sorry, moving on.
Door opens, footsteps.
You'll excuse my troubling you, I hope, for I've journeyed through half the night to seek your help and advice on a matter of most urgency. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jemima Winterton. Please tell me which of you gentlemen is Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, sorry, totally forgot for a moment. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Please take a chair, Miss Winterton, and tell me, tell Holmes the nature of the problem.
Thank you.
Scrape of chair.
This chair appears to be freshly painted a shocking shade of pink. The paint is still wet. Might I have another chair?
At this point forward, next to character, an asterisk next to character name indicates the character is adopting an impersonation.
Of course, take any and every chair. It is not important. I shall smoke a pipe as you compose yourself.
Over Jemima's dialogue, Watson attempts to light a pipe. The sound effect of a match being struck. It fails to light. Rattle of matchbox. Match is struck. Again, it fails to light. Rattle of matches. Matches struck. Finally, a flame. Watson does some ad-lib muttering as he becomes irritated and embarrassed. He commentates it in an oh done it and then a sucking inhaling sound.
Oh, damned matches. Done it.
I shall come straight to the heart of the matter, Mr. Holmes, and confess that I am at my wit's end. My dear younger sister Elsie is missing.
Whoosh! As Watson has accidentally set himself on fire. He cries out and starts patting himself down, trying to extinguish the flames.
Are you all right, sir? Are you all right, sir?
It's fine, it's fine. I'm temporarily ablaze.
So I see. Is this a usual practice of yours, Mr. Holmes?
There, see? It's only my arm now which is completely on fire. The rest of me is merely badly singed. You're not drinking this, are you, Holmes? I mean, Watson?
A sound effect of a splash of liquid, sizzling sound of the flames being doused.
What the hell have I just thrown on my arm?
Urine sample from a case you're working on, Holmes. The Hound of the Baskervilles.
That would explain the smell. Do please continue, Jenny.
Jemima, as I was saying, I've not heard a word from my sister Elsie for over a month, and my own investigation into her whereabouts have drawn a blank, for no one is...
Forgive me, Miss,
Winterton.
Forgive me, Miss Winterton. Very strong tobacco. Took me quite by surprise. Do please continue your statement.
Stop there a second. There's another joke we missed here. Sorry. So, Watson says, that would explain the smell. And then he says, do please continue, Jenny. And she says, Jemima. And I think Watson should say, no, I think you'll find it's Jenny. And she'll say, no, it's Jemima. Should we do that?
What's her response there?
Yeah, what would she say? Please continue, Jenny. Jemima. No, I think you'll find it's Jenny. I know. No,
and she could just pick up as I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she would just kind of ignore the whole thing and keep going, trying to make sense of everything.
Press on.
Yeah.
As you do when talking to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to do that then? So, from that would explain the smell.
Okay. That would explain the smell. Yes. Do please continue, Jenny.
Jemima.
No, I think you'll find it's Jenny.
Well, as I was saying, I've not heard word from my sister Elsie for over a month, and my own investigations into her whereabouts have drawn a blank. For no one has...
Forgive me, Miss...
Winterton.
Forgive me, Miss Winterton. That's weird, that came out strange. Forgive me, Miss Winterton. A very strong tobacco. Took me quite by surprise. Do please continue your statement.
No one has seen her, Mr. Holmes. Elsie had lodgings in Oxford where she carried out domestic duties at Christ's College. As the eldest sister, she moved out to seek work and find a husband, but she wrote to me at least once a week. I live with my mother in the countryside, Mr. Holmes, a small village in Yorkshire, and it's difficult to travel to Oxford to see...
Watson has picked up Holmes's violin. There's a few screeching notes of horrible, discordant violin music, and it cuts off abruptly.
I deduce that my playing is distracting you, Miss, Winterton. That is a pity, for music helps me to concentrate my brilliant mind on the problem at hand. Pray, continue with your account of the facts of the case.
When 3 weeks had passed with no letter from Elsie delivered by the postman, I decided that...
Elsie? Who's Elsie? Perhaps, Miss Winterton, you would do better to start again, from the beginning.
I don't think that will be necessary, Holmes.
Well, I think it will, Watson. I've lost track of things. Mothers, postman, Elsie, Jemima, Oxford, Yorkshire. It's a mess, Watson. Too many red herrings. They clash horribly with Mrs. Hudson's fashionable pink decor.
I have recorded all the relevant data in my notebook, Holmes.
Even so, it's all... This is... look, Watson. I think we should consult privately.
There is no need, Holmes.
I rarely think there is, Watson.
Then you are mistaken, Holmes.
No, Watson, it is you who is mistaken. We need to talk.
No, we do not.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
We do.
Don't.
Do.
Is there a problem, Mr. Holmes? I'm finding this most perplexing.
Right.
Do forgive me, Miss
Stop there a second. Sorry. You know that thing when you get cartoon characters and one of them is trying to outsmart the other one, and he says, "Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are," and then he'll switch it around.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what that rhythm has got to get. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
There is no need, Holmes. I really think there is. You can go on forever, for as long as you want, because it might get funnier the longer it goes on. So, do you want to just do that bit again from There Is No Need, Holmes?
You stop us when it's getting tiresome.
Yeah.
Well, someone just say that's enough, I think, because I'll just laugh forever.
Or Jemima could just interrupt.
Yes, that's it. Jemima, you come in when you think, but, just let it, let's see how long they can get it.
Delivery guy then.
That would be a great running joke.
You know, David, you do have other roles.
Do I?
Yes. All right, let's do it. How about I have recorded?
Just from There's No Need, Holmes.
Okay. There is no need, Holmes.
I really think there is, Watson.
Then you are mistaken, Holmes.
No, Watson, it is you who is mistaken. We need to talk.
No, we do not.
Yes, we do.
We don't.
We do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Do not.
Do. Indeed.
We don't, Watson.
Most certainly
Oh,
do.
all right, delivery of a breakup here. Come on, nothing to see.
Is there a problem, Mr. Holmes? I'm finding this most perplexing.
You do forgive me, Miss Winterton. There is absolutely nothing to be concerned about.
Thank you, Dr. Watson, but I was addressing Mr. Holmes.
Oh, yes, of course.
We must speak privately, Watson.
And we shall, Holmes. After we have ascertained from Miss Winterton the facts of her sister's disappearance.
I would prefer it, Watson, if we were to consult privately on matters of utmost urgency without delay. Or would you like me to tell Mrs. Hudson what I shockingly discovered under your bed?
Oh, very well. Forgive us, Miss Winterton.
This is most irregular.
Tell me about it.
Scrape of chairs, footsteps of Holmes and Watson.
Well, Watson, what's the matter?
This isn't working, Holmes.
It must work, Watson. Your life depends upon it. We must maintain this ridiculous charade in order we may unmask a killer. Somewhere out there in the Christmas snow is a ruthless, calculating murderer who wants you dead, Watson. And right now, I know exactly how he feels.
Excellent, thank you. So can we have a female reverend? Do you want to do that, Nora?
Yes.
There probably weren't any back then. I don't know when they were ordained to the cloth
I know.
in England. But
I think I played the Reverend last time.
oh, right. So
It was the 90s, I think.
yeah, the 1990s, not the 1890s.
No.
No. Not even in
Was
Yorkshire.
Dawn French the first female vicar?
Yes, she might well have been. So scene 3, exterior cemetery day. It really occurred to me the other day that nobody would be able to dig a grave because everything was frozen over. So anyway, the mournful tolling of a funeral bell is carried on the mournful winter wind.
We have entrusted Dr. Watson to God's merciful keeping, and we now commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, and dust to dust, ensuring certain proof of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Wails and sobbing from an assembly of heartbroken women.
Thank you, Reverend, for such a moving service. I am sure that wherever is left of Dr. Watson is at peace now.
God rest his soul, Mr. Holmes. God rest his soul. It is most pleasing to see such a good turnout on this bitter winter's day so close to Christmas. Although I cannot help noticing it is mostly young and pretty examples of the fair sex who make up the mourners for the poor departed Dr. Watson.
Oh, I am certain that this is how Dr. Watson would have wanted it, Reverend.
Will no doubt be attending the wake, Mr. Holmes. Bit of an ease up in honor. Bit of an ease up to honor and remember you, your best, closest, and oldest friend.
I regret that I have pressing business back at Baker Street.
Oh, a pity. How about you, Inspector Gregson?
I too need to return to Baker Street. With Dr. Watson out of the picture, I'm assisting Holmes in his investigations.
Well, Merry Christmas to you both, you heartless bastards.
Yes, hopefully there aren't any under 10s listening in. Usually keep these quite clean, don't we?
I do have a 4-year-old running around behind me,
Well,
unfortunately, but I have headphones on, so he's not hearing any of this.
okay, good. Make sure he's not tuned into YouTube. Scene 4, interior 221B Baker Street day. Gregson nearest to us by the door, Holmes further away. Footsteps of Gregson and Holmes moving around the room.
Same routine as yesterday, is it, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, Inspector.
Rustle of clothing.
When you have eliminated the improbable, is it the improbable or is it the impossible? When you've eliminated the impossible, no, it's definitely the improbable. When you've eliminated, rejected, when you've rejected, when one has rejected all impossible, when a detective has thrown out, no, I'm lost. I don't know how you do it, Mr. Holmes, and I certainly don't know how you walk about indoors wearing an Inverness Cape-style smoking jacket with deerstalker cap.
I have explained all this at considerable length. The killer will not be paying close attention to Sherlock Holmes. He will be fascinated by Dr. Watson. The smoking jacket, the pipe, the violin, the massive prosthetic nose, use the drops to give the impression of me. I am convinced that the killer will barely notice you. all his attention will be on me as I play the role of the bumbling Dr. Watson. Now, where is my makeup kit? I had it here somewhere. It's a pity that we wasted so much time attending the funeral of Dr. Watson. Now we must hurry. We cannot afford to make elementary mistakes.
I clearly expressed my doubts regarding the merit of attending Dr. Watson's funeral. Your theory that the killer might attend the burial of his victim? It's preposterous, Holmes. It's bitterly cold out there, and it's Christmas Eve. No killer would leave the warmth of his own home.
I will venture that I have more insight into the criminal mind than you do, Gregson. For one thing, I possess imagination and intelligence. The killer seeks revenge. He could not resist the glorious spectacle of seeing Dr. Watson being buried. Who could? Ah, I found it. I think today I'll choose a less ticklish and preposterous mustache. The one I sported yesterday was giving me a rash. I was beginning to look like a roasted walrus.
Knock on door.
Come in, Mrs. Hudson.
Door opens, footsteps of Mrs. Hudson.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes, Inspector Gregson. How was poor Dr. Watson's funeral?
A waste of time.
Very boring, Mrs. Hudson, and very cold.
Aye, it is cold out there today. You know, I would have liked to attend Dr. Watson's funeral. I love a good funeral. But I'm wearing pink these days, and it's not the done thing to mourn on public.
Sorry, there's some typo.
To mourn in public dressed like a flamingo. There's more's the pity.
Oh, Mrs. Hudson, I am quite convinced that you're mad.
That's nice, Mr. Holmes. Now I have a pot of strong, hot tea for you both to warm you up.
Well, skip the tea if you don't mind, Mrs. Hudson. The last cuppa you poured me burned off the roof of my mouth and had me racing to the toilet at all hours of the day and night.
Suit yourself. There are many new clients downstairs, and they seem most impatient to see you. I've handed out some reading material, but I have to say that it does not appear to be greatly engaging their interests.
I may regret asking this. What is it that you've given them to read?
Your monographs, Mr. Holmes.
Door slams open, quick footsteps as a man rushes in.
Did you say something about hot tea, Mrs. Hudson? That's just what I need. It's absolutely freezing out there. And I don't suppose there is any chance of breakfast.
Watson?
Oh!
Dramatic sting. That would be something like dun dun dun, wouldn't it? Scene 5.
Watson, not for the first time. You've ruined everything. You're supposed to be in Scotland. You frightened the wits out of Mrs. Hudson, though, if you ask me, she had it coming. And please watch what you're doing with that fishing rod. You could cause an injury.
I know, Holmes, but I simply could not stand to be there another moment. Do you have any inkling of how damn cold and miserable and boring and awful and ghastly and wretched it is in the Scottish Highlands? I was freezing to death, Holmes, sat on the banks of an icy loch. Loch. I don't know how you pronounce that. Something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Loch.
The morning mist. Loch. Can I do that? Production. An icy loch.
Yes.
Sure. That's a Hebrew Jewish sound that I specialize in. Not everybody can do that.
Yes, I know.
The morning mist making my eyes water, my backside numb from the intense cold, my hands trembling, my moustache frosted with icicles. And did I net a single ruddy fish in the 2 days I suffered in Loch Lomond? Loch Lomond?
That's it.
We'll have to, yeah, figure this out. No, I did not. I would have been delighted to catch a herring or two, for the food they serve in Scotland is inedible. Porridge for breakfast, haggis for lunch, thistle pie for dinner, and something I couldn't identify for supper. And thank you for the Inverness cape and deerstalker hat, Holmes, but they're impossible to wear, and they look completely ridiculous. The few Scots ladies I happened to catch sight of through the interminable Scots mist burst out laughing when they saw me in these silly clothes, and they laughed even harder when they caught sight of me out of my clothes. It was a nightmare, Holmes, a complete fiasco. Good Lord, I've just noticed. Holmes, you look exactly like me.
And you, Dr. Watson, look exactly like Sherlock Holmes, except for the mustache.
Oh, Gregson, didn't see you there.
Watch where you are aiming that fishing rod. Watson, you could...
Whoosh! Fishing rod spins round, and then a twang, bang, as it hits Gregson.
You blundering idiot, Watson.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Gregson. Are you all right? Say something, Gregson.
He can't speak, Watson. You've injured his vocal cords.
Oh, dear, I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Whoosh! A fishing rod.
Oops, nearly got you again.
Oh, put down the fishing rod, Watson, before you send the poor man to the infirmary.
Fishing rod falls to the floor.
There, I hate fishing anyway. Why on earth did you insist I take a fishing holiday in Scotland at Christmas?
Oh, because, Watson, I needed you safe, away from London, until I catch the villain who has been killing 4 men already, and who has every intention of making you the next victim.
It would seem, Holmes, that I'm very much in the dark about all this. I would appreciate it if you would be kind enough to offer some illumination.
No, there's no time, Watson. The killer is downstairs, masquerading as a potential new client. I'm convinced of it. For the past few days, Inspector Gregson has been essaying the role of Sherlock Holmes, whilst I have been playing the blundering Dr. Watson, with the aim of offering myself as bait. But now, thanks to your carelessness with the fishing rod, Gregson is unable to speak.
So, what did you say? You should return home straight away, Inspector. You mustn't inflame that throat.
There's nothing else for it, Watson. Precipitously, you are dressed precipitously?
Yes.
Precipitously, you are dressed in my Inverness cape and deerstalker. Shave your mustache, old friend. To save your life, you must give the performance of your life, as you play the role of Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Bum bum bum. Very good. I think what I should have done is in that bit there where Holmes says, "For the past 2 days, Inspector Gregson has been essaying the role of Sherlock Holmes, whilst I have been playing the blundering Dr. Watson." I think it would be funny if Holmes just went on a rant while I have been playing the blundering, idiotic, stupid, moronic, utterly, desperately, Dr. Watson. You know, he just can't stop himself. He just goes off on one. Anyway, we'll move on. Scene 5. I've got a feeling these scene numbers are all over the place. It's like the dating of we don't know what year we're in. We don't even know what scene we're in. Interior 221B Baker Street. Is it 221B or is it 250B now? Because we've got it all wrong. Dr. Watson is shaving his moustache. There's a splash of water, a scraping of noise of razor against skin.
Do you know how long I've had this moustache, Holmes? grew it in Afghanistan. The lady's there like a man with a big one. It'll take me years to... Oh, that stings. Years to grow it back. Look here, Holmes, couldn't you give me some clue as to the motive of this killer? Why does he want me dead? Or at least tell me the names of the other... Ouch! Oh, that's going to bleed a bit. The other victims.
Lot of papers.
Here. Yeah, go ahead. Here, Watson. We haven't much time. But if you want to take a glance at this article in the latest edition of the British Medical Journal, and then read these obituaries from the Times, you will begin, I think, to sense a connection. You are about to give a performance as me, Watson. Let us see if you can imitate my mind as well as my appearance.
A challenge, Holmes. One that I shall enjoy rising to. Now then. The article in the British Medical Journal is entitled Breakthrough in Diagnosis of MacGuffin's Disease by Dr. Watson? Dr. Matthew Watson? Good grief, there's another Dr. Watson out there. I hope he's had better luck with marriage. MacGuffin's disease. Oh, never heard of it. It says, have been studying this disease for decades in collaboration with my brother, blah, blah, blah. Disease is carcinogenic. Rapid development throughout cells in the body. Full-blown disease can remain undetected for years, triggered by extreme temperature, reaction of skin, death within weeks. Oh, sounds nasty. Now, what about these obituaries? Let me see. Sad to report the passing of Dr. Watson. Dr. Matthew Watson fell to his death on the icy Thames last Monday night. Fell from the bridge, apparently. Poor soul. Here's another one. With regret, we report the death of Dr. Reginald Horace Watson. Amazing. We Watsons are dropping like flies. Another accidental death. Poor fellow was trampled under hoof by a hansom cab on the Old Kent Road. That was Tuesday night. And here's another one. Dr. Miles Watson. Burned to death in his own home on Wednesday night. Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard says that there is no doubt that the fire was started by accident. I know how that feels.
Oh, that particular Dr. Watson was buried this morning. I think his last will and testament had stipulated that he wished to be cremated. But given the manner of his death, it seemed in poor taste. The last obituary is for Dr. Bertram Watson, who accidentally shot himself in the head on Thursday night. 4 Dr. Watsons, 4 accidents.
Matthew Watson writes an article on MacGuffin's disease for the December edition of the British Medical Journal. Then, over the course of 4 nights, 4 Dr. Watsons meet their deaths.
Intriguing, is it not? The observer, who has thoroughly understood one link in a series of incidents, should be able to accurately state all the other ones, but both before and after. Now, are you ready, Watson, or should I say, are you ready, Holmes?
Brief reprise of scene 1, knock at door.
Come in.
Door opens, footsteps.
You will excuse my troubling you, I hope, for I've journeyed through half the night to seek your help and advice on the matter of most urgency. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jemima Winterton. Please tell me, which of you gentlemen is Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Bum bum bum. So we're caught up now. Basically, we're back into real time. And later...
I am at my wit's end, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, if you don't mind, Atkinson. Let's please be civil when we address each other.
Does it matter?
Not in the slightest. Please get on with it.
Well, last Monday, upon my return home from a day's business in London, a letter with a foreign stamp lay upon the table. It's not a common thing for me to receive letters, for my bills are all paid in ready money and I have no friends of any sort.
Not a bit surprised.
From Africa, I cried as I took it.
Hang on, stop, sorry. That's great. I think that line's wrong, though. I think he should say, "You astound me." For my bills are all paid, and I have no friends of any sort. He'd say something like, "Is it you astound me," or
It would be "You astound me," yeah.
Yeah, "You astound me." Can we do that again?
And just a quick question.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe was Rhodesia then, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it only became Zimbabwe in the last century.
Oh, right. You're probably right. Yes. Okay.
That's on purpose, right? That's
I
for
think
more
in the last
historical
50,
inaccuracy.
I think sometime in the 60s it became Zimbabwe.
After you Brits left.
After Rhodes died, was it?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's say
Do you want
Rhodesia.
historical accuracy?
It would be Rhodesia then, wouldn't it? Rhodesia postmark. So let's do that a bit again, properly.
Okay.
Better. Do it better.
Do you want me to give the lead into that?
Yeah. Go from last Monday.
Last Monday, upon my return home from a day's business in London, a letter with a foreign stamp lay upon the table. It is not a common thing for me to receive letters, for my bills are all paid in ready money, and I have no friends of any sort.
Astound me.
From Africa, I cried as I took it up. A Rhodesia postmark. Oh, what can this be? Opening it hurriedly, out there fell 5 dried banana peels, which flopped down upon the table.
Banana peels? Whatever do you mean?
I presume that Mr. Atkinson means peels or skins from bananas, the tropical fruit.
Nonsense, Watson. Only the gullible, untrained mind would leap to such an obvious and entirely mistaken conclusion. The banana peels in this instance are not literally banana peels. They are clearly some form of narcotic or secret code.
No, Mr. Holmes, they are ordinary banana peels.
I can assure you that they are not, Mr.
And I can assure you that they very much are, Holmes. You received another letter the very next day, did you not, Mr. Atkinson?
Well, yes. The very next day, another letter awaited me on my return from the city. Again, the letter was postmarked from Rhodesia, and once again it contained 5 dried and withered banana skins.
Do you, have one of those envelopes with you, Mr. Atkinson?
That is the very thing I was about to ask, Mr. Watson. Well done. Do you have one of these envelopes with you, Atkins?
Atkinson.
Sadly, I do not, Mr. Holmes. It was my intention to bring them to you, but last night...
No, don't tell me. It is elementary. I have the entire sequence of events laid out before me. Last night you got roaringly drunk, and you were so enraged by these baffling letters that you decided to take matters into your own hands. You broke into the African embassy on Trafalgar Square, and...
I think Mr. Atkinson was about to tell us that last night his home was burgled and the envelopes had been stolen. The thief was not interested in the banana skins. He wanted the exceptionally rare and valuable postage stamps which were affixed to the envelope.
Splendid, Watson. You are, for once, applying logic to the situation, and in doing so you have hit upon the truth of the matter. I put it to you, Mr. Whoever you are, that you did not break into the African embassy, did you?
Well, no, Mr. Holmes, I've never even been to the African embassy.
Knew it!
Holmes, you're amazing.
And I also put it, Mr. Atkinson, that you did not get roaringly drunk last night.
Well, that is quite correct, Mr. Holmes. I do not drink alcohol. But how on earth did you know that?
Elementary, my dear Atkinson. I have the solution to your problem clear in my mind. Last night your home was burgled, and the envelopes were stolen. The thief was not interested in the contents of the letters. He wanted the exceptionally rare and valuable postage stamps which were affixed to them.
That's word for word what I just said.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. You are a brilliant man. In fact, I would go so far as to say that you are the most brilliant
down
detective.
And fade up.
You're the only man in England who can help me, Mr. Holmes. My name is Charlotte Jones, and I am at my wit's end. I'm certain that I'm being followed, Mr. Holmes.
An exceedingly beautiful woman, Miss Jones. Might I call you Charlotte?
Of course, Mr. Holmes. And I confess that flattery left me blushing.
Your beauty is even more breathtaking when there is color to your cheeks. And if I may say so, Charlotte, your eyes are...
Holmes, do you think it would be possible for us to put aside for a moment the discussion of Miss Jones' apparently pleasing features, that we may instead concentrate on the essential facts of the matter?
Stop there. I think, and again, it's my fault, but I think Watson should be a tiny bit more flattering. He should be going on about her forever, you know. Your beauty is even more breathtaking when there is colour to your cheeks, like a sunset over Zimbabwe, you know, and he just can't, just going on and on and on, and then Holmes has to go.
Zimbabwe? Rhodesia.
So do you want to get?
No, I just got a delivery of colonialism here. Nothing to see.
Yes, nothing. Please move on.
Okay, Vince, do you want to script that, or I'm gonna wing it and
yeah, go for it. Just to add a few. Just keep going until Holmes stops you.
Sure. Okay. No, that's okay. I'll just start with that. Your beauty is even more breathtaking when there is color to your cheeks, and if I may say so, Charlotte, your eyes are like the river in spring when the lights reflect upon it.
Holmes, do you think it would be possible for us to put aside for the moment all discussion of Miss Jones' apparently pleasing features, so that we may instead concentrate on the essential facts of the matter?
Ah, but you see, but you do not observe, Watson. The distinction is clear. Charlotte's astonishing beauty is clearly the reason why she is being followed, for no man on earth could possibly resist her beguiling charms. I certainly couldn't. I would follow the delightful Charlotte to the ends of the earth and beyond the stars.
Holmes, have you not stated that it is of the first importance not to allow your judgment to be biased by personal qualities? A client is a mere unit, a factor in the problem. The emotional qualities are antagonistic to clear reasoning.
Perhaps when a man has special knowledge and special powers like my own, it rather encourages him to seek a complex explanation when a simpler one is at hand. In this case, without needing any further testimony from Charlotte, I prefer the simple explanation and reject complexity.
Oh, but, Holmes, is it not your dictum that it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence?
Indeed so, Watson, but it is of the highest importance in the art of detection to be able to recognize out of a number of facts which are incidental and which vital. My guess that Charlotte's beauty is the cause of her problem rings true.
Holmes, you have stated that you never guess. It is a shocking habit destructive to the logical faculty.
Watson! Watson, be so kind as to keep quiet. There's a good fellow. Now, Charlotte, if you might continue without further interruption from Dr. Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. The first time I noticed that I was being followed was a few evenings ago. I looked out through my window into the garden beyond, and I saw that there were tracks in the fresh snow. Then the footprints of a large, hairy man who just
Fade down. Sorry, you caught me by surprise then. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. They were the footprint of a large, hairy man, did I hear?
She's seen your pictures.
Ah.
I was going to say, I'm sorry, I'll stay out of your yard from now on.
Mr. Holmes, they were the footprints of a gigantic squirrel.
Heaven!
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, Mr. Stackhouse, only one man at the costume ball was dressed in an animal costume. So the footprints belong to him.
Say that, Watson. The giant squirrel tracks were left by the man in the squirrel costume. It is elementary.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, you are amazing!
I know.
No.
You will find the Duchess's jewelry stashed somewhere in the woods on the Duchess's estate. The thief will not have had time to change out of his squirrel costume, and if you'll pardon, squirrel the loot away before the police were on the scene. Ergo, he ran into the woods, still in this improbable fancy dress, hid the jewels, and then fled the scene.
Ditto.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. You have cleared my name. I shall leave here immediately, find the jewels, and return them to the Duchess. Good day to you, gentlemen.
Footsteps, door opens, closes.
Hang about, he didn't pay us for our services.
As we speak, Watson, Mrs. Hudson is blocking the exit and presenting him with the bill.
How much?
That's a relief. But are we any closer, Holmes, to identifying the insane killer who wishes me dead?
It is far from reasonable to state that anyone who wants you dead must be insane, Watson. On the contrary. But I have been musing on the problem, and I believe that I know which of the clients is an imposter.
You do? Oh, that's a relief, Holmes. I say, I hope it isn't the very beautiful Charlotte Jones. I intend to call upon her in the new year, with flowers and money.
It is not Charlotte Jones.
Phew. I've had rotten luck with the fairer sex. They're always trying to kill me, or marry me and then kill me.
If I am right, and I invariably am, then the killer will return here at any moment, and then, Watson, then you shall know who it is.
Knock on door.
Carmy?
Dramatic music. That'll be that dun 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 again. Who do you think it is then? Anybody listening in at Holmes? Who do you think is the killer of the other 5? How many Watsons are dead? 4, isn't it?
4.
Yeah. Okay, just 10 years ago. Interior 221B Baker Street Day. Sound. Door opens. Footsteps.
Hello again, Miss Jemima Winterton.
Good heavens!
Hello again, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. Please forgive my intruding upon you further, but there's a little matter that I wish to raise.
It is no intrusion at all, Miss Winterton. Please sit down and tell us what is on your mind.
Scrape of chair.
Oh, grief! I can't. I never have. Good heavens!
Alright, hang on. Wouldn't it be funnier if he was, he said, I would have put my money on, who's the first guy? Atkinson, wasn't it? The one he didn't like.
Well, fine, be like that.
Yeah.
I care.
Good grief! I'd never have. Good heavens! I was convinced it was Atkinson.
I have sworn and it's going to be Atkinson. Good heavens!
Thank you. Dr. Watson, I cannot help but notice that your voice sounds very different from before. Much more alert and much more intelligent.
This is... I just didn't... Was sure it was Atkinson. I mean, oh, come on, Jemima. Jemima! What a name, Jemima. Jemima is the...
You, Mr. Holmes, you also sound different, though in your case you sound less alert and much less intelligent.
Do that about 10 times, Lisanne. And much. Just keep going.
And you, Mr. Holmes, you also sound different, though in your case you sound less alert and much less intelligent.
Do not let it trouble you, Miss Winterton. A little deception has been played here today by all 3 of us in this room right at this moment.
I do not understand, Dr. Watson. All 3 of us?
Oh, I think you understand perfectly, but no matter. Pray tell us what brings you here.
It's a trivial thing, Dr. Watson, and I feel quite embarrassed to raise it.
If that's directed at me, I can assure you that I'm keeping my legs crossed from now on.
No, not at all. You see, I was wondering if you would do me the kindness of looking in on my landlady who's fallen poorly. You're the only doctor I know in this city, which is why it is to you I have come in with this impertinent request.
I see. Your landlady is unwell. You wish me, Dr. Watson, to accompany you to a guest house and then attend upon her.
The cheek of it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes.
I'll ignore him, Miss Winterton. As you